All right, welcome back. Today we're digging into one of the wildest stories I've come across in a long time. It's about a programmer, right? But this isn't your typical tech story. No, this guy becomes a straight up urban legend. And how it happens is, well, it's truly bizarre. So you're probably thinking, how does a programmer become some kind of legend? It's not the usual comic book stuff. No radioactive spider, no secret super soldier serum. Nope. It all starts with something way more relatable and, frankly, a lot grosser. It all starts with a really, really bad case of food poisoning. Okay, so let's get into it. Our main guy is named Wang Yong, and on paper, his life is great. He's a high-paid programmer, probably making bank. But in reality, his life is a total grind. Just a never-ending loop of debugging code and dealing with completely ridiculous requests from his bosses. You know the type. It's like living in a golden cage. And this, right here, this just sums it all up, doesn't it? He's got the million yuan salary, but his day-to-day is just this. These maddening circular conversations with product managers. He's building features that are basically designed to trick users into spending more money. It pays the bills for sure, but man, what a soul-crushing way to live. So one day, he just can't face the company cafeteria again. We've all been there, right? He sees a new burger joint, and it's cheap, like suspiciously cheap. But he's stressed, he's hungry, so he just goes for it. And this burger, this 19.9 yuan burger, yeah, this is the decision that's going to change everything. Not just for him, but, well, for the whole world in a very weird way. And boom, the burger hits him like a freight train. We're talking a full-on gastrointestinal apocalypse. So there he is in the office bathroom in absolute agony, and he just lashes out, mentally. He just thinks, I wish everyone else felt this way. And to his complete and utter horror, it works. The entire floor, the entire 27th floor, is suddenly hit with the same explosive problem. So this terrifying idea starts creeping into his mind. No way. Could I have done that? He has to test it. So he picks a target, this arrogant manager he can't stand, and just focuses all his anger. And a few minutes later, the manager makes a dead sprint for the bathroom. It's unbelievable, but it's real. Wang Yang can control people's bowels with his mind. Yeah. So what do you even do with a power like that? I mean, seriously, it's so absurd. He doesn't go full superhero, trying to stop bank robberies. He starts small. He starts testing it out on all those little public annoyances. The guy who cuts in line, the person blasting music on the bus. Yeah, you get the picture. And through these little experiments, he starts figuring out the rules of the game. He's got a range of about 50 meters. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to activate, so it's not instant. And here's the kicker. It is completely 100% undetectable. There's no surveillance that can pick it up. To everyone else, it just looks like the person is suddenly having the worst day of their life. All right, so he's had his fun with the small timers. But now, he's ready to scale up. He moves beyond just petty revenge. His first major target? A super corrupt CEO who's holding this big press conference. It's being live-streamed everywhere, and the whole point is for him to deny these huge fraud accusations. And his timing is just perfect. The CEO gets up to the podium, starts his phony, rehearsed speech, and that's when it hits him, in front of everyone, live on national television. The humiliation is total. His reputation is just gone, instantly. And the public outcry is so huge that the police have no choice but to reopen the fraud case. It's justice, all right? But it's silent, invisible, and, yeah, pretty undignified. So this starts happening more and more. All these powerful, corrupt people start having these accidents at the worst possible moments. And of course, the internet notices. You know how it is. People start connecting the dots, and this mysterious, almost karmic force gets a name. The Jetstream Warrior. Okay, but being a secret bowel-controlling vigilante, that doesn't just happen without consequences, right? There's a huge moral dilemma here, and it's about to hit very close to home. See, his girlfriend, Lin Xiaoyu, is a law student, and her entire belief system is about to crash head-on with his unique brand of justice. And this is really the core conflict of the whole story. You've got Wang Yang on one side saying, look, the system is broken. I'm just punishing the bad guys who always get away with it. And then you have Lin Xiaoye making a totally valid point. This isn't justice, it's vigilantism. You can't just appoint yourself judge, jury, and, well, executioner. It's this classic battle, right? Does the end justify the means? And this isn't just some philosophical debate over dinner. It gets real. She finds out his secret, and she threatens to turn him in. So what does he do? He makes this incredibly dramatic, maybe even crazy choice. He jumps from their 15th floor apartment. And then, in the most insane display yet, he uses his power as a literal jetpack to slow his fall and survive. I mean, wow. So that whole jumping off a building thing, that's a wake-up call. It's a major turning point. He quits his high-paying job, leaves his entire old life behind, and just disappears for a year. He goes on this pilgrimage, studying with monks, learning meditation and breath control, but he's not looking for spiritual enlightenment. Nope. He's training. He's trying to master this bizarre power. And let me tell you, it works. His abilities just explode. So, after a year away, Wang Yang comes back, and he is a changed man. The guy who used to target line cutters, he's gone. Now he's thinking bigger. He's thinking global. He's become this international force for, well, let's call it disruptive, and still very undignified justice. And his targets get way, way bigger. The stakes are so much higher now. We're talking about him using his power to literally change world events. He humiliates a factory owner who is poisoning a river. He takes out an entire banquet of arms dealers right before they can close a deal on a new bioweapon. He even stops a warmongering politician mid-speech, creating a chance for peace talks. This is next-level stuff. Okay, so obviously you can't go around doing this without someone noticing. Governments around the world start seeing this pattern. Very specific, very powerful people, all suffering from the same sudden, embarrassing ailment. They don't know what it is, so they assume the worst. It's some new kind of bioweapon. So they form a top-secret task force called Project Purification to hunt it down. And these guys are smart. They manage to set the perfect trap. They leak info about a shady deal happening in this sealed-off, underground location. He takes the bait. And suddenly, he's cornered, surrounded by hundreds of elite agents. No way out. But they made one huge mistake. They're working off old intel. They have no idea how much his power has grown. See, during that year of training, he learned some new tricks. He discovered he could do more than just cause distress. He could also induce the exact opposite, an overwhelming, immobilizing wave of pure pleasure. So what does he do? He unleashes this new power on all the agents. They're not screaming in pain. They're completely incapacitated by euphoria. And just like that, he walks right out of the trap. But it's not over yet. The head of the task force, Agent Li Guoqiang, manages to track him down later, one-on-one. And here's the craziest twist of all. Instead of arresting him, he lets him go. Li basically says, look, you've been taking down people we could never touch. The world needs rules, yeah, but maybe it also needs someone like you. He gives him a new passport and a plane ticket and tells him to disappear. And just like that, the Jetstream warrior is gone. Poof, vanished. Wang Yang takes on his new identity, and he ends up as a quiet yoga instructor in some sleepy town in Northern Europe. But you know this isn't the end of the story, right? His work is definitely not over. Right, so these mysterious accidents keep happening to corrupt leaders all over the world. But here's where the story gets its final, most ridiculous twist. A few dictators, after being targeted, try to spin it. They try to rebrand public humiliation as, get this, a symbol of strong leadership. It backfires. So spectacularly. Their own officials try to copy it, and the whole situation becomes so absurd that it sparks actual democratic revolutions. You've got soldiers forced to wear diapers who just defect rather than take part in the madness. And that's where the story leaves us, with this really provocative question. It makes you wonder if real, lasting change always has to come from the top down, from governments and laws. Or maybe, sometimes, the most powerful weapon we have against a broken system is just pure, unadulterated absurdity.